This incredible coconut and spinach dal with tomato tarka is a great lesson in how to build layers and layers of flavors in something as simple as spinach and lentils cooked together. We start with coconut oil. That's what makes these lentil dishes so good in both Indian and Sri Lankan cuisine. I'll add a little finely minced red onion. You want to cook the onions until they're soft, release moisture, and begin to sweeten. We don't necessarily want to brown them. You, of course, could use regular neutral oil here, a sunflower oil. Definitely do not use olive oil here. That'll be too strong. But this gives it sort of tropical flavor, and it's really rich. This is a meat-free dish, so wherever you can add lots of flavor and richness, go for it. So once you see the onion softening up and sort of the color kind of fading a little bit in the redness, then we can move on with seasoning. Turmeric, of course, gives this bright, telltale, beautiful yellow color. A little grated ginger and grated garlic. It's not a lot, and it is grated, so you're breaking up those cell walls of the ginger and the garlic with a grater rather than chopping it. And the texture we're going to get that we really want is from the spinach that we stir in later. In go the lentils. We're using red lentils. You always want to rinse your lentils just to rinse any residue or any dust or dirt off of them, and to give them a quick glance and make sure there aren't any stones or any foreign objects in there. And then water. And then coconut milk. We're using basically a full can of coconut milk here, but we're saving some until later so that we get a fresh pop of coconut flavor. A little bit of salt. We'll bring this to a simmer and cook this until the lentils are nice and creamy and have absorbed the liquid. This takes about 15 minutes. This dish is classically made with red lentils. Of course, there are brown lentils, green lentils. You do not want to use French lentils here because they really hold on to their texture, but the red lentils really cook very quickly and give us that nice, creamy, rich flavor. In the meantime, we can make the tarka that goes on top. This is a classic technique for a lot of Indian curries. In this case, a Sri Lankan curry is also a tarka, but they might refer to it as a temper. So it's a curry dal with temper. This starts also with refined coconut oil. Tarka is used in a lot of Indian dishes. It's a way to finish a dish. It can be as simple as butter, clarified butter or oil and spices. You see a lot of Aleppo pepper tarka where you're drizzling over a lentil soup or a lentil dish. This one has more texture. We're going in with mustard seeds. Classic ingredient used in a lot of Indian dishes. In this temper, it adds a nice earthiness. And these are going to stay whole. You're going to experience the texture of the mustard seeds, which is a nice little crunch. So I'll just cook these until they start to sizzle a little bit in the oil. You can start to smell them. There they go. Now, more finely diced red onion. And this time we're going to cook the onion until it starts to brown. The onions that are in the dal are going to be nice and soft and creamy. These are going to hold on to a little texture and have a little bit of crisp edge. We can add a little bit of black pepper and curry leaves. These are curry leaf you can find in Southeast Asian grocery stores, fresh curry leaf. They are used in many, many dishes throughout Southeast Asia. They add a beautiful citrus, lime, and lemongrass flavor. If you don't have them, don't let that stop you from making this dish. And if you do find them, you buy a package of fresh, you can freeze them and use them whenever you need them. A little more fresh ginger. This is grated just briefly until you can smell it. And then to finish up the tarka, fresh tomato, finely diced, some serrano chilies that are thinly sliced, and just a dash of chili flake for a little more heat. And I'll just cook this briefly for about a minute until the tomatoes start to release some of their liquid. Those lentils have broken down. This is getting nice and creamy. I want to add final pop of some more coconut milk. That'll bring that flavor front and center. And now the key ingredient here is our spinach. This is bunch spinach. This is what we might also call adult spinach that you buy in bunches in the produce section, not in bags. If you can only find the baby spinach, you can use that, but we find this holds up much better and is a better texture in this. The baby spinach kind of disintegrates. We're just going to incorporate the spinach right into the dal and just cook it long enough to wilt the spinach, but we're not trying to cook it away to nothing. Really beautiful. I want to remove the curry leaves out of here. You don't want to eat them. They're rather like eating a bay leaf. That is a beautiful vegetarian, actually vegan entree that is tons of flavor, lots of different textures, and straight from Sri Lanka. Have that very coconutty, creamy lentils and spinach mixture underneath, and then the bright tarka with the mustard seeds, the chili slices. This is a very complex and beautiful meal, and it really only takes about 15 minutes to make.